A young man suffered severe burns in a tragic fire. Doctors pronounced him clinically dead, astonishing everyone, but minutes later, he was seen standing, walking down the hospital corridor. The scene went viral, and many began calling him a real zombie. Some said his erratic behavior was caused by the medications. Others speculated the physical trauma kept him between life and death. The video went viral on TikTok, sparking debates over real zombies. But the most plausible explanation points to confusion and side effects. Not a zombie, but a confused body, reacting to trauma and pain. His story reminds us that reality can be more unsettling than fiction. Fire had left him unrecognizable, his skin scarred forever. His family wept upon receiving the news of his death. But suddenly someone screamed that Keadan was moving. The doctors froze, unable to explain what they were seeing. Before their eyes, a dead man was walking again. The corridors filled with screams and phones recording the scene. Soon, social media spoke of a real zombie. The footage showed Keadan walking with a vacant stare. Some claimed he was possessed. Others said it was divine punishment. But the truth, as always, was far more human and darker. Keadan was under heavy medication, and his mind confused. His body, torn between pain and chemicals, reacted strangely. His steps were clumsy, like a trapped ghost. Many fled from him, unable to understand what they were witnessing. The zombie myth had already been born on the internet. Videos, memes, and theories flooded social networks. But in the hospital, reality was far less fantastic. Keadan struggled to stay conscious, trapped in his own body. He was not immortal. He was human, on the edge of death. A young man whose tragedy turned into a spectacle. The news reached local media within hours. Journalists spoke of a living dead in the hospital. Cameras showed a weak young man, but still standing. Public no longer saw Keadan, but a monster. Rumors spread faster than the truth. Some called him the Syrian zombie. Others claimed he was proof of hidden experiments. His image became the subject of conspiracy theories. Meanwhile, Keadan barely understood what was happening. His mind was trapped between fever and pain. Keadan lived in Baghdad, a young man passionate about social media. One night, everything changed with a tragic accident at his home. A fire suddenly broke out in his room. The fire spread quickly, trapping the young man inside. His screams alerted the neighbors, who rushed to help. Firefighters arrived, but the flames had already consumed nearly everything. Keadan was pulled out alive, but with severe burns. His body was marked by fire, and his breathing was faint. He was immediately transported to a hospital in Baghdad. His family followed, hoping he would survive. Doctors did everything possible to stabilize him. His condition was critical, with third-degree burns. Keadan fell unconscious, caught between life and death. Doctors fought against time and the damage of the fire. News began to spread across social media. Keadan was known on TikTok, which made the case even more viral. His story began to attract international attention. The family prayed as the hours passed slowly. Doctors could not promise a miracle. Night grew even darker inside the hospital. Meanwhile, social media exploded with rumors and prayers. Some claimed that Keadan had already died. Others insisted he was still fighting for his life. The hours felt eternal in the waiting room. Each minute was a battle between life and death. Doctors applied desperate treatments. Keadan's body responded weakly. Specialists knew the odds were minimal, but the family never lost faith in a miracle. It was at that moment that the unexpected happened. Keadan's heart stopped, and then started beating again. The doctors could not believe what they were seeing. Keadan slowly opened his eyes, but his gaze was no longer the same. There was something unsettling about him. The silence in the room became terrifying. Suddenly, Keadan tried to rise from the bed. His body moved clumsily, almost unnaturally. The doctors restrained him infuriated, but he seemed to have unusual strength. His breathing was heavy and chilling. Witnesses swore he growled like an animal. It was as if he was no longer entirely human. The zombie rumor was born that very night. The hospital corridors filled with fear. Some believed it was divine punishment. Others thought it was a failed experiment. truth is, no one could explain what had happened. Keadan was isolated under strict watch. They feared he might turn violent. Rumors spread faster than the truth. The news crossed borders in a matter of hours. International media spoke of the zombie boy. Experts debated whether it was science or myth. Meanwhile, Keadan remained silent. His fixed eyes looked hollow, as if he was watching something no one else could see. Fear grew even among his caretakers. Each night, guards swore they heard him whispering, a low murmur, impossible to understand. Keadan's condition finally stabilized. Doctors revealed he had never actually died. He had been in a critical state, almost without vital signs. The misunderstanding spread like fire in the dark. People swore they had seen a dead boy walking, but it all came down to his fragile state upon waking up. The thinness, the burns, and the trauma made him unrecognizable, and so the legend of the zombie boy was born. Over time, Keadan slowly recovered, but the marks of the accident stayed with him forever. Keadan tried to return to a normal life, but the shadow of the myth followed him everywhere. Some avoided him, as if he were cursed. Others sought him out with morbid curiosity. The story became a local urban legend. It was even told in schools and family gatherings. But behind the myth was a real boy who suffered. Keadan never asked to be a legend. He only wanted to be remembered as a survivor. The accident scarred him, but it also made him strong. Over the years, the myth transformed into inspiration. His name began to be told in a different way, not as a zombie, but as a survivor. His story still sends chills down spines, but also hope. Hope that even from pain, strength can be born. Today, Keadan Salloum lives as a symbol of resilience. A story that began with horror, ended with a powerful message. The collective memory will never forget Keadan Salloum.